Hey guys, so this video is going to be on a review of mean absolute deviation, or as we call it, MAD for short. So what the mean absolute deviation does is it calculates the spread of the data, or how close everything is to the mean, which is also known as the average. Remember, the mean teacher gave me a bad average. So here I have 5 different cereals and the amount of sugar in those cereals. So we have Cinnamon Toast Crunch with 10 grams, Fruit Loops with 14 grams, Captain Crunch with 12 grams of sugar, Cheerios with 9 grams, and then Wheaties with 4 grams. If I wanted to find out the mean absolute deviation for the amount of sugar in these cereals, what I have to do first is I have to find the mean. And I find the mean by adding all of these together. So you can, and for this, I would definitely recommend using your calculator. So 10 plus 14 plus 12 plus 9 plus 4 is we get 49. So my mean is 49, or my average. Okay, so now that I have my so that is the total. I have to divide this by 5. Why 5? Because there were 5 cereals. So 49 divided by 5 is going to be 9.8. So this is my mean right here, 9.8. That's the first step. Add and then divide. Now my next step is finding out the deviation, or the distance. Each one of these points, data points, is from my mean. So now I have to go ahead and subtract each one of these. So 10 minus 9.8 is 0.2. 14 minus 9.8 is 4.2. 12 minus 9.8, 2.2. 9 minus 9.8 is technically negative, but we don't care. Remember, we want only the absolute value, only the positive. So how far away is it? 0.8. And then 4 minus 9.8 is going to be 5.8, the absolute value, so it's positive. So this is the deviation, or the distance. So now I need to find the mean of the deviations. So then once again, I have to add all of these up. So 2/10 plus 4 2/10 plus 2 2/10 plus 8/10 plus 5 8/10. We get a total of 13.2. And once again, we have to divide that by 5 because there were 5 numbers that we added together. I divide that by 5. My mean absolute deviation is going to be 2.64. So in order to find the mean absolute deviation, your first step is you have to add, because you have to find the total. Then you have to divide, because that gives you, adding and then dividing, that gives you your mean. Next, we have to subtract, because that finds me my deviation, or my distance from the mean. And then the last step is we have to find the mean of the deviation, or the absolute deviation. So we have to add and then divide again. And that's how we find our mean absolute deviation. So if you remember, it has 5 steps. Add, divide to find your mean. Subtract all your points to find your deviation, and then add and then divide again by the number of data points to find your mean absolute deviation.